It is time for the biggest moment in this Rebuilding Viborg save. We are level on points with Copenhagen with 2 games to go. The goal difference gap has even narrowed since the last episode. And we go to host them on the penultimate day. Copenhagen still invincible. They've not lost all season. But are they going to throw away the title? Let's go and find out. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 26 of Rebuilding Viborg with me, Daniel. We are back today for our final 2 games of the Superliga season. We face Copenhagen in what is essentially a title decider before a tricky trip to Esbjerg, which could yet be a banana skin, even if we are top on the final day. So if you're looking forward to finding out how we get on, of course, without star players ineligible in this first match, then please do put a thumbs up on the video and subscribe down below for daily FM22 content. You can see the latest episodes from our other playlists up in the eye above, including the top 3s and the Hemel Series 2, and links to the Twitch channel for regular F1 Manager up there as well. And you can find all the other platforms down in the description below. So let's get straight into this because this is huge. I can barely remember an episode that's this tight. We are separated by 2 on goal difference, and you can see the 1 game we played in the top right of the screen, and it was tense again. And I'm going to be honest here, looking at our rivalry with Midtjylland, I do think the Midtjylland players will be questioning the referees at this point, because we won 1-0 against Midtjylland, and if you go back and remember 2 episodes ago, when we drew against Copenhagen and nicked that late draw against Midtjylland, it was an 89th minute Jurchen Rothman penalty. Well, history repeated itself, because against Midtjylland in the last away game, we got an 88th minute Jurchen Rothman penalty. It looked a bit soft, I can't lie to you, but we're going to take it. It means we do stay top, but Copenhagen did their job too. And not only did they do it, they won emphatically last weekend. After we won 1-0, they won by 4 against Brøndby. And now the goal difference gap is very, very tight. The goal scored gap has tightened yet again. And if I show you the league table in full, we are separated by 5 goals scored, 2 on goal difference. And Copenhagen, to be fair to them, still unbeaten after 30 games. The lack of draws and turning those into late victories from the penalty spot is what saved us. But the draws against Copenhagen might well have been as important. So can we hold them today? Anything other than a defeat, and we go into the final game of the season with our destiny in our own hands. Of course, there may be some goal difference factors at that point too, but we've got to get ourselves in that position. If we lose, we are reliant on Copenhagen to save us on the final day by dropping points. We'll worry about all of that in a moment. We are going straight into this first game because there's nothing more important than what's happening on the pitch. So let's get through to the fixtures. Of course, we've got to make some tough team changes. We know we've not got Toxvard, we've not got Palmer, both of whom, of course, ineligible as they're on loan from this club. And look at that. That is the biggest attendance we've had. 9,886. We've almost sold out for the big game. Let's go and have a look at the team selection. We had Alexander Lerche out injured last week. He is now fit enough to start this game and will replace Behrens in goal. At the back, we've gone first choice. In midfield, who do we bring in? Do we go Carlson in the holding role? Do we go for something a bit more aggressive? And why on earth, something I've just noticed, why is Molgaard, the young centre-half, now trained as a number 10? What's going on down there? Which coach has been allowed free here? This is absolute stupidity. Get back to playing out from the back and sort yourself out as a defender. I mean, geez, what is going on back there? So we're going to leave that for now. In midfield, we are going to go Carlson in the holding role, Vitt in centre mid. A point is important. We've got to play for it. Sampaio will go out to the right with the hero from last weekend, Jurchen Rothman, up front. And on the bench, Lauritzen and Molgaard will complete the places. That's how thin the squad is now. We have got a bare 18. Hopefully it will be good enough despite the couple of changes. We know Rothman's reliable. We know Carlson's experienced. But have this lot got enough to get a result against Copenhagen? Let me know down in the comments what you think's going to happen over these 2 games as I run you through the team for this massive, massive game with Viborg. It's Lerche in goal and Yemby and Schroeder the fullbacks with Bukima alongside Carter at centre-half. Carlson, Harbo and Witt the midfield trio, Sampaio, Beck and Rothman the front three. And of course, a little bit of a light bench, but still, there's options there if we need it. Into a big game in front of a near sellout crowd. Well, 3 changes for us today. Lerche returning in goal, the other 2 enforced because of the loan rulings. They've just made the one themselves with Anthony Robinson coming back in on the left. Those who are fans of English football will know him. And looking at the manager, the man from Nordsjælland who was our nemesis last year, cost us a cup final, cost us a place in Europe. And this year he's led Copenhagen, whether or not they win the title, so far to an invincible year. It's an incredible effort. We're going to go and get into the first half. We're going to try and be front-footed in the first period. If it looks like we're going to have to cling on, then I'll go backs to the wall. I'll play for an ugly 0-0. It's the only team we have to do it against, but I'm not going to be too proud today. We are going to do whatever it takes to get a result. Let's go and show that we can keep our run going. We are unbeaten in absolutely ages, but a few too many draws in recent weeks, and that's what's made this tense. Viborg v Copenhagen, not sure we've beat them yet this year. So let's see if we can change that today, and with it, lift the title. Well, it was never going to be any other way to this, was it? A quarter of the game gone, 1 shot on target for the visitors, although we're in with Sampaio. First shot for us, it's a great save by the keeper. He's tipped it past the far post for a corner kick. Who's going to take it? We've scored a few scrappy set-piece goals. I'd love one now. Carlson's ball headed away, and now Robinson's on the counter. We know he's electric quick, and he's got support up there. Down the line he can go. Beck gets back to win it. With 25 gone, it's 0-0. Both teams just had the one good chance. Though Bukima's got a free kick. Why is he taking it? There is no way on earth he is our best free kick taker left. Surely. Is he that good anyway, Bukima? Let's get to the set piece takers. Seems like it's an absolute mile off that. He's nowhere near. I have no idea why he's been put on them. He wouldn't normally take them. So we're going to go back to Carlson for that. And I'm not sure why they've decided. In fact, he is the best, isn't he? He's the best after Carlson. Sorry, I had the corners up, but still, we're going to go for Carlson first. The centre-halves can get in the box. Let's also go and have a look at the corners. Who else can we put on them? Need to get things right today. So we're going to go for... I'm going to let Tobias Beck take them, just because I want the big men in the box. And losing a holding midfielder, that doesn't work for me. Half an hour gone, goalless, but the details are everything. So we're back for a corner kick with Copenhagen into the last 10 of the first half. Headed away as Bayo attacked it to Hagen. On the left-hand side, back to Robinson. Time in possession, finds Sissoko and Horta. Good football so far from Copenhagen, and Horta goes in alone. Good block, it's out to Gabriel on the right. To the byline he goes, good ball in, Bayo shot's blocked. Bukima clears away. Is it going to be another lucky 0-0? Or are we going to get found out? Remember that first game of the season at home? Well, we just got absolutely battered in the second half after dominating the match. Can't really say the same here, it's been pretty even, but neither side have yet broken the deadlock. Probably suits us better than them. I do wonder if they'll go for it second half, maybe just try and get that goal to go top of the table. Although Beck's got the corner in, it's headed against the post by Carter, and it's away to Nygren, who has scored plenty of goals against us over the 3 years. Down the left-hand side he goes. It's one that followed the manager, isn't he, to Copenhagen. And we've got a corner kick again with Tobias Beck to the back post. Down to Anyembi. Oh, the flag's up. We go into VAR. I didn't see what was wrong with it. Is Rothman offside? I don't even know where he was. Was he involved? He obviously was, because the goal's disallowed. And Anyembi is denied an absolutely huge moment. But we are coming on strong here. With an hour gone, we'll think about changes soon. Rothman struggling up front again. What a turnaround in the Nordsjælland match, by the way. 2 goals conceded in stoppage time. And as we reach the last 15, have we got anything better on the bench? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. We're going to bring Karstrup on for Beck, just to give us some fresh legs there. Rothman replaced by Blaham, who scored some big goals for us this season. Burr at right back for Anyembi, who's always tired late on. Harbo shattered, Groening on for him. And then finally, I'm going to save the last 10 more minutes. But I might chuck on Lauritsen last 5 just for the set pieces. And in fact, I'm going to do it now because Schroeder's knackered at left back. So, Jesper Lauritsen, the 35-year-old, on you come sunshine, deliver us a beauty of a set piece and let us nick this game. 0-0 as it stands is all right. Is there going to be late heartbreak? Into 3 minutes of stoppage time, it's a Copenhagen free kick. I don't know that I can handle the tension. I don't want a time waste because it will backfire. as they hold it at the back again on the right-hand side to Zeka, into Starga, wide to Gabriel, through to Park, the substitute. Chance to cross, but goes wide again. Gabriel to Starga. Back out wide again, across the box, Bukima hacks clear. Last-ditch defending. They've defended the box so well, in fairness. As Sol back into Park, it's a good turn. Oh, it's in off the post. As it counted, I don't know what's happened. The highlight ended randomly in the celebration. I presume it's disallowed because it's gone back to 0-0. But we saw absolutely nothing in the follow-up of that. You were watching that live with me. I have no idea what's gone on there. But the scorer suggests it's still 0-0, and it better be. As Gabriel's cross is blocked, it's out for a throw-in, and it's one last chance for Copenhagen. I didn't think we'd be finishing this game in bemusement, to be honest, as it's crossed from the right again, deflected behind for a corner, and it is the final kick. It's a Copenhagen corner. If they score this, they're top of the league. Sol back and into the front post, Seka's up, Bukima heads away. We know he's moving on at the end of the year, but he's just wrapped us up a point. It is 0-0 against Copenhagen. Confirmation that goal was disallowed. It's another awful game, but we'll take it. We are top going into the final game. Destiny's in our own hands, and Copenhagen, they stay unbeaten too. Could we stop the Invincibles winning the league? We'll be back in a week to find out. Fitness test time, and the question of the day, will the champions be the leaders or the Invincibles? That's right, Copenhagen could finish second despite not losing a game all year, and the parameters have not changed at all. That's because we drew 0-0 last weekend, and now if Copenhagen win by 3 more goals than us, or better our result in terms of outcome, they will be champions. Whereas if we beat their result, match it, or win by 2 less goals at most, we will be champions for the first time. This is huge. We've got the 2 easiest away games on paper. They're in 5th and 6th respectively, although Copenhagen's opponents 7 points less and a far inferior goal difference, which could yet be crucial. So let's get through to the tactical meeting and see what side we can put out today. The good news is it's almost back to full strength. We've got one slight issue on the bench though, because Blaham picked up an injury. He will miss out on the squad. David Palmer comes back in though. He will be in on the right wing with Sampaio up front. And Toxvard, of course, will be in for Carlson. Vitt drops back to the holding role. And Carlson on the bench in place of young Molgaard. This is the squad we've gone for. It's not much change. The 2 that were enforced last time come back in. And aside from that, it's the 11 you've come to know and expect. Can it win Viborg the title? Incidentally, we did break the record attendance and gate receipts for our club last weekend, but it's going to mean nothing if we don't win the title here. It's also the difference between Champions League qualifying and Europa Conference football. I'm just tense. Let's go and get straight into it and see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Well, a familiar name in the host side, that is Luka Rakic, who we managed in the head coach this year at Bristol City. They've also got the likes of Ngonge going forward, who scored against us countless times, and Egeland as well. This is a very good side, but we've got to have the upper edge. We've got to have the advantage here, and we've got to score and win this game. It does not matter how, and we've got to keep an eye on the Copenhagen game, because if they race into a 3-goal lead, then 1-0 might not be enough. So let's go and have a look at the tunnel interview, get through it, staying positive where possible. And here we go, to the final day of the season. The latest score screen will be a must. Well, I tried to be clever and pause it to set the latest scores, and we're going straight from the kickoff, which I hope isn't a bad thing today. As Anyembi gets it on the right, he's overrun it. And this is the one thing we don't know about this side. How will the nerves affect them? Because when we won the second tier, we were so far clear of the rest. Last season, we played in that cup final, blew a 2-goal lead, didn't look great, although Palmer's in here straight away. David Palmer, the Copenhagen loanee, has just dinked the keeper within 30 seconds. We're 1-0 up. It is the perfect start. We could not have asked for better than that. What a moment. The nerves, the pressure has just lifted off our shoulders. Now we've got to make it count because they've got 4 forward. Egeland gets it left. Pallison's forward. 2 in the box if he can find them. Sorensen's there. Oh, not one of these games. I can't be dealing with 4 threes and 5 fours today. It's 1-1 with 4.5 minutes gone. Oh my word. I cannot cope. They've had an injury as well. We are watching the Copenhagen score. It is 0-0 at the moment. I just hope that Silkeborg can do something special. 20 minutes gone. Midtjylland 2 up against Brøndby. That doesn't affect us. What I want... Oh, that is beautiful. Silkeborg have scored against Copenhagen. Imagine if all they needed was a draw or a 1-goal win to win the title and they lose their invincible record on the final day. Because at half-time, we've not been great. It was a lightning start, followed by a terrible bit of defending. But it's 1-1 at the break by the looks, although Beck's got it on the left. Crosses blocked as far as Schroeder. Delivers to the back post to Sampaio. Headers wide. But Copenhagen, it looks like they're going to trail at half-time. They do. This is getting within touching distance. 45 minutes away. If it stays as it is, even if Copenhagen equalise, we have won the title. But what are we going to do in the second half? That is the big question here. We've got Pallison on the left to Fernandes. I've got no doubt they'll be chasing the game as Ngawa gets the ball to Van Driel. Switches to the left-hand side to Pallison. Just don't go behind. Please don't go behind. Montana puts Egeland in. Great save, Lerche. Might be his last game for the club because he still won't sign a new deal. But at the moment, he's producing the heroics. As Toxvard's got a corner to the back post to Carter. Fernandes heads away. Tobias Beck will chase it down. He keeps it in play. Finds Bukima, who's on his way back. Lays it off to Schroeder. Finds the through ball to Toxvard, to Sampaio. Turns his man. Slides it in. Brilliant finish, Flavio Sampaio. Toxvard sets it up. The two Copenhagen youngsters. One's got an assist, one's got a goal. I mean, they've virtually settled the title for us at the minute. Copenhagen are level, so that goal's even more important. And I'm not going to make subs early today, as Palmer gets it from a throw-in on the right. Plays it back to Anyembi. Gives it to Vitt. Inside to Harbo, to Palmer. We're starting to strut our stuff a bit now. Play some really nice football. As Toxvard curls one just wide. He's not going to be wanted back at Copenhagen the way he's going at the minute. As Copenhagen take the lead. Now it's a battle of the goal difference. We're both doing our jobs. It's down the left to Sampaio. Into the box he goes. Cuts it back. It's off the line. Almost an own goal to help us. Wide to Anyembi on the right. He can't do anything with it. And with 25 to go. Oh, it's so tense. Both sides ahead. If we concede, Copenhagen win the title. If Copenhagen score 2 more, they start to widen the gap and we're level on goal difference. Hopefully, Silkeborg just hold their own as Palmer's in. This could make it easier. It does. The Copenhagen youngster has won us the title. He's on loan from the club and they will be regretting that decision now. Toxvard and Palmer have been crucial to this win. And I think we can start to celebrate now. Is it too early? I think we're all right. What a performance it's been. We're going to make subs, just take off some of the more tired players. Vitt will be replaced by Carlson, Karstrup, or in fact Rothman will come on for Beck. And Yembi at right back for Oscar Burr again, that's one of our regular ones. Schroeder for Lauritsen on the left. And then Jeppe Gröning, the experienced man, chasing down that appearance record next season. He's going to come on for Daniel Harbo for the last, 13 minutes. It's going to be the most special day in that man's long history with his club because he's about to lift the Danish Superliga. Unless something absolutely awful happens, which is not going to now. 5 left, we're 2 clear. Silkeborg have equalised and dreams are coming true. We're going into Europe with Viborg for the first time and it's Champions League qualifying. We have won the title and we don't even get to see the title lift. That's not fair, is it? But what a story. The best 2 players on the pitch from midfield. David Palmer, 2-goal hero on loan from Copenhagen. Toxvard, assist hero for Sampaio's goal on loan from Copenhagen. And even Daniel Harbo, who set up the first, sold to us by Copenhagen last summer. They've basically given us the title-winning team. And something more remarkable's happened too. Copenhagen, unless they conceded a late goal, have finished invincible. And we've still won the title. That is an incredible effort. We are very proud of the performance of our team. We are delighted to finish top of the table. Devastated not to see the trophy lift. But look at that. Copenhagen invincible. But 12 draws out of 32. That's their undoing. We managed to pick up the victories, and now we've got to try and replace Toxvard. That's going to be hard work. Well, we will stick around just to see the end of season review in a minute, but what a reaction to us winning the title. It was tense, it went all the way, and to be fair, Copenhagen was so much better this year under new management, but they couldn't do enough. They did win the cup in midweek, so it isn't an unsuccessful season for them, but Viborg and Copenhagen youngster David Palmer, God, they're not going to want him back, are they? It's another £1.6 million, and it could well be European group stage football next year. I know this would be the end of the club rebuild, but I've got to manage this side in Europe once. I'm sorry, I have to. So we will do at least one more season, see if this is a flash in the pan, see what level of Europe we can get to, and now we've got a bit of money for the first time, what level of signings we can bring in. If we go over to the finances, we are now 3 million in the black financially, so it is good news on that front. Let's get to the season review and reflect on this brilliant season for a lot of these fabulous players. And here it is. We did not expect to have that trophy under our name, and it only just happened on the final day. But what an effort in our third season at Viborg, and European football will follow it. If we have a look at the signings this summer, there is no doubt what decided our season. The money that we made from selling Nicholas Jensen and from some of the other boys, my word, have we invested it well. Jensen incidentally barely played at Cologne. I'm going to try and get him back this summer because we haven't improved there. With Bukima going back from his loan, we haven't really got a player there at all. If we have a look at the ins though, Harbo for 140 grand will probably end up being the best transfer it is safe, being a homegrown player too. And in Flavio Sampaio, remember when the board were unhappy at the fee we paid for him? 40 grand doesn't look too bad now, does it? 14 league goals for him and a crucial component of our title winning side. Props as well to Bukima, who will be leaving, Schroeder, who will probably be a backup next year, and Oscar Burt, who played his part off the bench as well. It was a great season all round, and those lads absolutely pivotal to it. We win by 2 points at the end of the season, even though Copenhagen were invincible. Never shows us the table after the championship group for some unknown reason, but either way, it was a brilliant year. Copenhagen just drew too many games. If we look at the cup, we were put out by Brøndby in the semis, but it was worth it now playing the reserves, wasn't it? We win the title, we get a better stage of European football. I don't think there's any complaints. Let's get through the moments to remember. Our biggest win of 5-0 against Silkeborg, who did us a huge favour there on the final day. The match to remember was the opening one of the season, a big 4-1 win at Midtjylland, which we saw on camera. And goal of the season came from Flavio Sampaio, a crucial one too, in a 4-3 win at Brøndby. The finances are good for the first time since we joined the club. The reputation, I'm sure, will increase next year. Rothman's still the best shirt seller, all the attacking stars just behind that. Harbo up to second already is impressive. Now let's see the best 11 they've picked. We can't argue with any of that. They've actually picked the right first 11. Brilliant stuff, shows how strong they were. We win Danish Manager of the Year, Player of the Season, Young Player of the Season and Signing of the Season all go to Harbo. Toxvard breaks the assist record. I'd love to find a way to get him back. Jensen, record sale. Hopefully we can add him back too. And then further down, Player of the Match awards. Hayden Carter popped up with some key goals at the back. And Tobias Beck, a breakthrough year for him. Top scorer for the Youth Academy star. Brilliant performances all round. History in the making for Viborg. And we are champions of the Danish Superliga. Our club vision and expectations next year got to be in the top half and reach the third qualifying round of the Champions League. That would guarantee us a Europa Conference group stage place. We'll accept that vision, we'll do the team meeting in a moment, and then we will be back in a couple of days' time for a big summer transfer special. No news of transfer budgets yet, although there is $1 million there, so maybe we're going to be able to go a bit bigger. If you did enjoy this episode and seeing us somehow beat the Invincibles to the Danish title, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. What do you think about next season? Can we replace Toxvard? Can we find a centre-half? And can we back up this historic success? Let me know your thoughts to all that down in the comments and check out all the other key playlists in the eye above. Ways to support the channel and all the other platforms in the link tree down below. But a massive thank you for your support. It is hugely appreciated as always. And as we've just done something remarkable, why not see my top 3 tips for Football Manager success? That's above my head now. I'll see you next time.